Okay, today is Thursday, November 7th, 2024. Calling to order, this is the Finance Committee meeting. Calling the meeting to order at 4:34. First business item is the September internal 2024 financials. Patty, I'll turn that over to you.
Thank you. If we look at the balance sheet first, as we do, our accounts receivable regular are at 349. 97% of that is current or 1 to 30 days. The accounts receivable AEAS, that is one reimbursement from USDOT and 3 invoices from Contour. Contour has paid theirs. We should see the USDOT reimbursement at the end of this week, the beginning of next. And at that point, we can close out the Watertown Savings Bank line of credit for the Contour. Our prepaid expenses continue to go down as we use our, as we keep putting our monthly amounts against our insurance. We have the fixed assets, and I have the big sheet. I didn't know, Mr. Burns, if you wanted to do that now and then again, or just do it at the board meeting?
At the board meeting.
Okay, so we can go over the fixed assets. We are at 49% overall fully depreciated. Our construction in progress, you will note that the Malls F is still in there.
Yes.
We are in contact with Kelly at McFarland Johnson. There is apparently that Malls F supplemental that we had to pay the $44,000, and there was a possibility that we were supposed to get 36 of that back. We've never seen that, so we just have to know whether the FAA is or isn't going to pay us back so that we can close that out.
It was a 44.
That was for,
Not brush and fencing, was it?
no, it was anything, it paid for the FAA to come and inspect and put the Malls F into service. And they gave a prepaid, or a quote on all of that, and we had to pay that in order to get them to come.
And we just need from McFarland Johnson a statement as to whether we're ever going to see that back or when we will see it back. It was originally 6 to 9 months, and that's been 1.5 years.
So what's the holdup on that? McFarland Johnson or the FAA?
I do not know.
I think, I don't know, it's like going into a black hole for the FAA. This isn't the FAA, it's the FAA, it's a separate part of the FAA, it's aviation services or all of that, so we don't deal with them all the time, just when you want to put airport functions in service that you've got to pay up front. Well, this was part of that. And at the time, they told us we might see something within 6 to 8 months, and that would have been in 2022. Yeah.
When was the last time we've had communication with them?
Quite frankly, I forgot about it. I haven't, it kind of slipped my mind on all of that without putting that together with the Malls F. But we're going to go after that. At least get an answer.
We might want to tie up things sooner than later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our accounts payable regular is at $325,000. The accounts payable AEAS is just the one last Contour invoice. The New York State retirement for 24 is paid off. We do have the invoice for 25. All project accounts payable is at 1.2, and of that, 1.1 has since been paid. So we're keeping up with that, but we're now waiting for another reimbursement from DOT, New York State, to reimburse the line of credit so that we can use it again. As you'll see, our accounts payable for our top 10 vendors, I think, is down to 7 or 8, and they're being paid almost in full every time we do a check run. So I can't say it enough, we're thankful for that funding. Any questions on the balance sheet?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good as well.
Mr. Burns?
I'm all set.
Okay, so we'll go to the budget to actual. We are ahead on almost all of our income. Our AEAS is below budget, but that is always contingent on the number of flights. Our port revenue, we finally are a little under what we expected, but we haven't been sending out salt yet, so the throughput on the salt hasn't really started in earnest. Otherwise, we're doing quite well on our income. Our expenses, our bridge maintenance expense, the invoice from the bridge inspection was booked in September for $78,000, and that's what has brought both the month and the year-to-date over budget. That will even out in time because it hits all at once. Our legal expenses appear to be way over budget. However, some of those legal expenses belong to the airport because they are expenses that have to do with the sale of the property. And as the property is airport property, those general expenses should actually be broken out to the airport. So if you put some of our legal down into airport legal that is under budget, we would be probably pretty even right now with what we expected. The maintenance expense under the airport, the PAPI lighting invoice for $22,000 came in August. And the Collins, or in September, the Collins Hammond invoice for installation will come in October. Security expense, we had budgeted $266,000 for the year, or approximately $22,167 a month. And our security expenses have run between $23,000 and $26,000 a month. So we are over what we thought we would be. We are in contact with the city, but we have not yet got a draft for the contract that's due in January. They need it for their budget, we need it for our budget, so we're hoping to be together quite soon to get that straightened out. Other than that, all of our expenses are pretty much right on target or a little bit under. Any questions on the budget to actual?
Not for me. You answered the two I had.
Try to remember what you.
The airport revenue fuel sales, why are we down so much in September?
Down in September?
Yeah,
Oh, the monthly?
yes. The 27,339.
I think that big part of that has to do with we're no longer front loading the fuel. We're no longer selling fuel to
No, this was September.
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 Again, I think that might be one of those months that Contour just doesn't take fuel. That takes less fuel. Because we got, if you look through the yearly of last year, there's some fluctuation of month that they just don't take any fuel. There's month that they take a lot of fuel. And I think it's all based on what they take in the airport. I'm seeing the fluctuation of, some months they take a lot, some months they take minimal.
So basically from October on, the only fuel sales we'll have will be from GA.
And also all the fees.
We have service fees that were allowed, the flowage fee,
Mhm.
the storage fee,
And hookup.
the hookup fee, which we used to call the into plane fee. We will still have those fees, but actual fuel sales, no, it'll all be GA.
So we anticipate adjusting next year's budget to reflect that.
Yes.
And
We
this-
actually have the fuel sales, I believe, ended in September anyway, not knowing what the new airline would do. We just took the fuel sales off, I believe.
Right,
So next month, we won't have that $86,000
I don't
budget.
think so. I will check, but I don't think so.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
I think we're conservative on that.
good. And then the small increase in the salary expense at the airport during September,
Is overtime.
overtime.
That was still Contour. For Contour's overtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they were never here on time, basically.
Yeah. That's
All
why
right.
August was really bad when we were talking about
Mhm.
August. That was really one of the worst months.
I remember. All right. I'm good.
Okay. Anything else to come before the finance committee?
I believe most everything else we're going to discuss at the board level.
Okay.
When we do the finances with everyone.
Okay. Anything else from either of you?
Nope.
Okay. Motion to call the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned at 4:45.